MAGA Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House, just held a press conference in the Capitol building where he states that the reason that the Mar-A-Lago document case in federal court against Donald Trump is being delayed is that it's special counsel Jack Smith's fault. In this press conference, MAGA Mike Johnson claims that special counsel Jack Smith was hiding documents in the case and was caught concealing records or moving records, and that's why federal judge Eileen Cannon has continued the trial date and why there are problems and issues with that case. That is 100% false. I want to just share with you what MAGA Mike Johnson said so you can see it for yourself. And then I think it is very important that we talk about media literacy and the importance of actually understanding what's happening in these court proceedings and why it shouldn't be a political issue, Democrat v. Republican or independent, to simply tell the truth about what's happening in these criminal cases so the public can actually be informed and not flooded with disinformation the way Trump and Fox and MAGA are trying to do. Here's MAGA Mike Johnson in the press conference that he just held. Play the clip.
And this is repeated across the system. Jack Smith, the special counsel. You know, just last week it was revealed that they had tampered with evidence. They had moved around the evidence in the boxes, and that trial now is apparently being postponed indefinitely. Why? Because they have real problems on the prosecution side now. Look,
So as you know, MAGA Mike Johnson attended, I shouldn't even say attended, he showed up at Donald Trump's criminal trial in Manhattan yesterday in kind of a performative entourage move where Donald Trump dressed up the entourage in matching red ties. The whole thing was incredibly embarrassing. And to see the Speaker of the House, which is supposed to be a co-equal branch of government, Congresses, going in and being so obsequious to a former president and parroting all these lies and disinformation, frankly, was humiliating for our great nation. But more on that in a moment. Back to what MAGA Mike Johnson just said in this press conference. It is 100% false. As you know from watching the MeidasTouch network, federal judge Eileen Cannon is the reason for the delays in this criminal trial. It's a very basic case. Donald Trump took classified documents from the White House after he left. He put it in boxes. He packed them up. He sent them to Mar-A-Lago. Donald Trump was asked to return them multiple times by first the National Archives, then the FBI, then the Department of Justice got involved after Donald Trump continued to lie, refused to turn him over, claimed he turned him over, had people sign affidavits saying that it was turned over. Eventually, a search warrant was executed. Classified documents, including nuclear secrets, war plans were found, and eventually criminal charges were brought. The case was randomly assigned to Judge Eileen Cannon. Donald Trump's defense is not that he didn't do it. Donald Trump's defense is that he should be able to do whatever he wants. His defense is that by putting classified documents, our nuclear secrets, we the people, this belongs to the country, by putting our nuclear secrets and war plans and other highly sensitive classified information in boxes and shipping them to Mar-A-Lago, that they automatically get declassified and become his own personal property, such that our nuclear codes belong to him personally, our war plans belong to him personally, and that there's nothing that the government can do about it. They're his now. That is what his defense is. Judge Eileen Cannon, a judge appointed by Donald Trump after he lost the 2020 election, who's already been overturned twice by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in scathing orders when she tried to involve herself in the search warrant that was executed on Mar-A-Lago. She has been continuing to issue paperless orders, dragging this trial out further and further and further. She actually kept the trial date in place, but kept on moving deadlines, kept on making some of the most bizarre orders. She had to reverse herself on numerous occasions after special counsel Jack Smith was about to go to the 11th Circuit. Then she blamed special counsel Jack Smith for not educating her appropriately on what the law is, as though that is special counsel Jack Smith's job, which it isn't. But special counsel Jack Smith nonetheless provided her with what the law was. She just doesn't know what she's doing. Plus, she's trying to aid and abet Donald Trump's conduct. We've covered here on the MeidasTouch Network each and every one of her paperless orders, her minute orders. And by the way, have you seen a single minute order or paperless order, or how about actually a substantive order that found special counsel Jack Smith in contempt or sanctions, or said that he's hereby violated some discovery order by not turning over records, or that he's engaged in misconduct? Have you seen any orders like that have taken place by Judge Eileen Cannon, despite all the efforts of trying to move these trial dates? No. Instead, what she did, and now it's indefinitely postponed, special counsel Jack Smith wanted this case to be tried months ago. And the same way that New Jersey Senator Menendez's case is being tried right now, and the way all these cases should be tried expeditiously, Donald Trump's Judge Eileen Cannon, has continued to move this trial date further and further into the future, and now it's been indefinitely postponed. That's why there is no trial date. And so the fact that you have these MAGA Republicans like MAGA Mike Johnson continuing to lie and say, "Oh, it's Jack Smith's fault," they're parroting what Donald Trump is saying. Remember, Donald Trump said, "Oh, Jack Smith got caught with his hands in the cookie jar." Remember, Trump said that like 2 weeks ago? It's an odd statement. Jack Smith got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. Like, what are you even talking about? Here, play this clip.
And all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are. You probably saw last night that Jack Smith got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It was released late last night, and it's a big story. The documents case is a hoax created by them for election interference purposes. And so that one looks like it's going asunder. A brilliant judge saw some facts, and I haven't read what was revealed yet. It just came out. But the document hoax is indeed a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. All of them are hoaxes, including the civil cases. They're controlled by the White House. They're controlled by Democrat judges and prosecutors that were put there specifically. They hate Trump.
And again, their whole strategy is just accuse the other of the crimes that they commit, the misconduct they commit, and their own issues. So they're the ones who stole classified information, accuse Jack Smith for having his hands in the cookie jar and doing something with the boxes. That is their MO over and over again. I mean, here, for example, was MAGA Mike Johnson yesterday. Again, he didn't attend the trial at all. Think about this. MAGA Mike did not show up at the criminal trial of Donald Trump, actually in the courtroom. He just walked with Donald Trump, posed, shook his head yes, and then went out and gave a press conference and then lied about the facts in the case. Play this clip.
President Trump is a friend, and I wanted to be here to support him. I'm here speaking with you outside because the court won't allow us to speak inside the building. That's just one of the many things that are wrong here. This is the fifth week that President Trump has been in court for this sham of a trial. They are doing this intentionally to keep him here and keep him off of the campaign trail. And I think everybody in the country can see that for what it is. I'm an attorney. I'm a former litigator myself. I am disgusted by what is happening here. What is being done here to our entire system of justice overall. The people are losing faith right now in this country, in our institutions. They're losing faith in our system of justice.
Look, I want to give credit to Ben Coachman, who is a writer for the New York Post. It's Murdoch property. And even Ben Coachman, who's in the courtroom watching the evidence, says Mike Johnson did not spend a single minute in the actual courtroom today. And then he's referring to this post by Natalie Allison that says, House Speaker Mike Johnson says at presser outside Trump's hush money trial that he told Trump, "I wanted to be here myself and call out what is a travesty of injustice. And you see how Donald Trump dressed up everybody around him, which is so utterly weird, in the same uniform, all these like MAGA Republican members of Congress all wearing the red ties in their kind of cult uniform. I mean, it's just so strange. Here is Byron Donalds, MAGA Republican member of Congress, going after attacking Michael Cohen. Play this clip. And Byron Donalds, again, like not actually focusing on what the issues of the case are, just parroting this disinformation. Play this clip.
Ladies and gentlemen of America, this trial is a joke. This thing is a farce. We were in there all morning. Michael Cohen basically sat there and said, yeah, he invoiced legal expenses. The Trump campaign, the Trump organization, not the campaign, paid out money in legal expenses. Where's the crime? There is no crime.
And look, Byron Donald says in a post, I'm not under a gag order, so I can speak out. Actually, the gag order prevents Donald Trump from directing others to make statements that would violate the gag order. But don't expect MAGA Republicans to be a party of law and order and actually, follow any the rules. But here's the thing. Law and order actually matters, and the truth matters. When you hear Byron Donalds saying that because Michael Cohen made a reimbursement for hush money payments to interfere with the 2016 election, because Cohen was a lawyer, it is a legal expense. That's not what it is. It's a reimbursement, and it should not be treated as a legal expense or retainer for services rendered when it was a hush money payment made to cover up conduct that Donald Trump engaged in. And the cover up is well documented, how the reimbursement to Cohen was falsified, which is a crime. You can't falsify business records to look like it was in connection with services rendered as a legal expense and then grossed up so Cohen would not have to pay taxes on it as a tax avoidance scheme. It's very clear what the crime is. And over again, these MAGA Republicans, because of right-wing propaganda networks like Fox, don't check them, and Newsmax and all of these places then parrot what they're saying, and it's all coordinated and pushed out there. They go and say these things and just completely lie to the viewers. And then when things happen in the courtroom where evidence matters, then people are all pissed off and think that there's some scheme or conspiracy about why things went down the way they did, when if you were just following the evidence and you were following what was happening, you would actually know, versus all of the lies that are being told. So like Donald Trump walks out with members of Congress behind him, and Trump justifies his crimes by saying, look, Congress, they use NDAs. Watch this.
Will Shar, highly respected lawyer, hush money, it's not a crime. Signing an NDA is not a crime. By the way, Congress, everybody in Congress have NDAs. NDAs are very common, non-disclosure agreements. They're not a crime.
And then here's the thing right here. Then you have Trump out there reading Fox News columns, and then Fox cites Donald Trump reading Fox News columns as their source for why they think that Donald Trump is right in the case, versus actually educating their viewers on what the law is. Watch Fox do this.
Former President Trump stood in the hallway there saying that all of these legal experts keep saying there's no crime there. And I've been going through all of the reports, all of the editorials, all of the left-leaning news sources. I can't find a legal analyst out there who's actually explaining how a crime was committed here.
And again, instead of talking about the substance and the issue and the laws and the facts and what the witnesses are actually saying, like we show you the transcripts here, you've got Fox hosts like Laura Ingraham complaining that the courtroom smells. Play this clip.
All right, first, let's take some quick takes on the atmosphere in the courtroom today where I was. Now, to give you a sense of what the GOP frontrunner has been dealing with these past 3 weeks, the air is musty, the floors are old, tan, brown linoleum, remember those? And the benches, hard oak, with a stress on the word hard.
You've got other Fox News hosts like Jesse Waters talking about how what really should have happened is the entire Republican caucus of all senators and all members of Congress should show up. Here, play this clip.
And the posse should be growing. We should have had the entire House and Senate Republican caucus outside that courthouse speaking on behalf of a president who's unfairly gagged by a judge who donates to Biden.
And fundamentally, what I always talk about here is, again, it's not a Democrat issue. This should not be a Republican issue, not an independent issue. It should not be a political issue. We should be educating the public about what is actually happening in the courtroom, what the laws are, what the facts are. And so when you see MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, out there saying that it's Jack Smith's fault for the case being delayed because Jack Smith did something mischievous with the documents and Jack Smith committed improprieties, that's not even, what are you talking about? They're just lying. They're blatantly lying over and over again. And what they're hoping is that these wave of lies, and then pushed out by right-wing media and then corporate media not checking them, this wave of lies is so overwhelming that people don't actually focus on reality and what the truth is. That's a problem. But that's why we all here at the MeidasTouch Network in this community, we need to make sure we get accurate data out and let people know what's up. That's why you watching this, you're so important to this, because we're the line of defense against that, we being you. And so you got to share this with people, let people know, they're lying about this. They're lying about this. Here's the facts. Here's the data. Here's the document. Here's the exhibit. Here's the testimony. That's what we want to arm you with. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers. Thanks to your support. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.